When people are talking about dumbing down their iPhone, they usually talk about this. Focusing on how to make the phone less distracting. And it is important, but it's just one part of dumbing down our iPhone. For me, the reason to use a dumb phone is less screen time, to use the phone less. And that's the big difference. One level is making the phone look clean and less distracting. And the second level is to actually make it less addictive. Hello, my name is Jan, I'm a software developer. I'm addicted to YouTube and Facebook for around 10 years. In the last month and a half, I managed to reduce my screen time from 6 to 8 hours to around 2 hours by blocking all addictive apps, block access to those apps through Safari, and also making the phone look like a dumb phone. So if you don't want to download or pay any apps, no launchers, this is the best way I found using only the settings. Let's open the dummy phone. Step one, and it's the most important, is to block all addictive apps, leaving the iPhone with only tools. So I'll go to settings and scroll down to screen time, see all apps and web activity. And I'm going to scroll down and ask myself for each app, is it necessary? If the answer is no, I'm going to go inside and press add limit. I'm going to set it to 0 hours, 0 minutes. Press OK. I'm going to go into app limits and just going to add all the limits I need. I'm not sure about Spotify. Do you think it's more addictive or okay? YouTube for sure not. I don't want Gmail on my phone. I can use it from my laptop when I work. I love Reddit, but it's an addiction. Wikipedia is fine. Stocks, no. And I'm gonna set all of them on 0 hours, 0 minutes as well. This is the part where my mind started to convince myself that I will need some apps in the future. Maybe I will need Reddit to answer someone. Maybe I will need Instagram to check out new apartments. I can do everything on my laptop. I'm gonna try to be extra restrictive here. Now I wanna make sure I'm gonna block websites as well, because I can just browse to Instagram or Reddit or YouTube from Safari. I'm gonna go into screen time, content and privacy restrictions. I'm gonna turn it on. App Store, media, web and games, web content, limit adult websites. And right here, I'm gonna spend some good amount of time to actually put all the apps I just restricted. I don't want to leave it backdoor to doom scroll, so I'm going to restrict as much as possible. I'm going to put a list of 100 websites down below, so you can just copy paste. If you have a Mac, you can copy it on the computer and paste on the phone, which is also a little bit more easy. There are other ways to do it. You can use DNS filtering services like NextDNS or whatever to block full categories of addictive websites. But if you only want to use the setting apps, that's what we're going to do. I accidentally put everything in the always allow list, so I'm going to move it to the never allow. Why do you block LinkedIn? It's for business. It's addictive, it makes me feel like shit, I can scroll it for hours. Then when I try to get into Facebook, it's blocked. This method does block those websites also on different browsers, which is important. Because we know our sneaky brains like to find small hacks to brain rot. The next time is to set up downtime. It's not a dumb phone thing, it's more to just reduce my screen time thing. For me personally, the time I doom scroll the most is before I go to bed and when I wake up. So I'm gonna set up a schedule where both my iPhone and my Mac stop to work from 10:30 p.m. to 6 a.m. So I'm going into settings to screen time again. I'm gonna press down and I'm gonna press scheduled. And I'm gonna set every day from 10:30 to 6 a.m. If you know, you always scroll your phone when you wake up at 8 a.m. So put it until 8:30. And it's very important to also block a downtime because we don't want to just ignore it. But sometimes at 10:30 I'm still going out or I'm still driving. So I want to make sure there are some apps I can always access. So I'm going to go into always allowed and I'm going to add some specific apps that I can always use. I'm going to add Google Maps. I'm going to add contacts. I'm going to add camera, calculator, things that might be useful, but there is zero chance I'm going to scroll them. Notes, I sometimes like to write my thoughts when I'm in bed. reminders as well, weather, navigation apps, renting a scooter, paying, whatever makes sense that you're going to use at those hours when you're not home. You want to keep it allowed so you don't be tempted to completely remove screen time. Now that we use screen time to block everything, we can be free again, yay! No, they make it super easy to just press ignore limit, and we have great options to completely ignore a decision to not use this app anymore. It does make sense that we have the option to pause the restriction, but me personally would like the option to decide to actually restrict myself and not be like, oh, I can press 2 clicks to completely ignore my decision. So let's press ignore limit for today, and let's just browse YouTube. To block this, I'm going to screen time. I'm going to press lock screen time settings. I'm going to choose a very easy passcode because we're going to need to change some settings. And then after this, we're going to ask someone else to set a passcode for us. 1111. We're going to change it later. And now that we have a passcode on screen time, we're finally free from doom scrolling. Yay! No, we're not. We make it super easy to just go into the app, press ignore limit, and just completely ignore the thing we just did. So just use your willpower and don't get into the app. So to actually block the option of ignore limit, we're gonna go into screen time again, app limits, and for every limit, we're gonna go inside and press block and end of limit. This way, we can just press ignore for 15 minutes. Yay, we finally blocked everything and we can start talking to our friends again. No, we still know the passcode to bypass the restriction. Bypassing the restriction, approved for all the day. So the last step we're going to do here, it's very important, is to actually replace the passcode to a passcode that we don't know. So I'm going to ask a friend or family member to set the passcode for me, don't show me, and keep it in their notes. Change screen time passcode, change the passcode. I'm going to enter the old screen time passcode, and I'm going to give them the phone like this. They're going to set up a new passcode. I'm going to ask them to write it in their notes with the title screen time passcode. So in a year, 2 years, 3 years from now, I can ask them the passcode if I need to change the settings. And also when I'm going to transfer the phone or trade it in, I'm going to need this passcode. Now, when I'm going into Apple TV, I can ask for more time, and the best I can do is ask for 1 more minute. We finished the most important, most time-consuming step. The next step is to remove notifications for 99% of apps. So I'm going to go to Settings, Notifications, and I'm going to go through each app and disable their notifications completely. WhatsApp off. I can just check in WhatsApp every 2 hours. It's all good. If something is urgent, I'm asking my friends and family to call. I am going to leave some notifications on, like FaceTime and Find My iPhone and Google Maps and phone and reminders and the wallet. Things that make sense and not send you notifications like 24/7. We finished blocking all addictive apps, blocks the access to them through the browser. We removed notifications, we set up downtime, and now it's time to make the iPhone look clean. With no apps, with no launchers, we don't need to pay anything. The first thing we're going to do is just to hide most apps. That's a big thing for me. And we're going to leave only 2, 3, maybe 4 rows of apps that we use the most. So I'm going to long press the home screen, and I can delete the addictive apps. Completely. Even if I go to the App Store and re-download them, it won't work. But the apps that I do need, but don't use that often, I'm just gonna hide. I'm gonna press remove from home screen. And I'm gonna press done. If I wanna go into an app that is not in my home screen right now, I'm gonna just search for it right here. The next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna make our phone black and white. I'm not sure how effective it is, but I just got used to it. Going to settings, accessibility, display and text size. I'm gonna scroll down to color filters and I'm gonna turn on grayscale. And now my phone is black and white. Another thing I like to do is turn my wallpaper to gray or black. I'm going to go into settings. I'm going to scroll down to wallpaper, add new wallpaper. I'm going to choose color. I like to add sunset and temperature widgets. I'm going to press the bottom right icon right here. I'm going to choose a black color, press add. And I'm going to set it as a lock screen and a home screen. Another option I have is to long press the home screen, press edit at the top left corner, customize, and I can remove the text and make the icons a little bigger. Just something nice, isn't really important. That's it. Now I have a pretty dumb iPhone, which looks pretty dumb, but also it's mostly tools. I cannot scroll social media, I cannot scroll short form videos, I cannot access those addictive things through my browser, and that's how I reduced my screen time to around 2 hours a day. I'm gonna add a link with all the instructions in the description below. For 99% of people, that will do the job. Me personally, I managed to find ways to bypass it as well. And then the next level, the hardcore level, is to supervise the phone. It's an Apple feature that allows schools and organizations to block the phone in a more restrictive way. And I'm gonna link a tutorial down below how to do it. And one last thing, if you can comment down below your screen time, the exact hours and minutes, it's good for the YouTube algorithm. And also I would love to know how addictive we all are. Have a good one, guys. Coffee. Of course I'm gonna scroll TikTok while making a video about not scrolling TikTok.